Hey, this is the Doty Stew Podcast. I'm Brad Doty, and today's special guest is David Paul.
Yes.
David, welcome to the show.
Dude, thanks for having me. This is an awesome setup in here.
Oh,
Everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Yes.
much. David is the host and founder of DMAC Enterprises. So before we dive right in, coming from BSU,
Yes.
how do you think this season's going to pan out coming up?
So I'm a former Boise State football guy. So, I always say this, man. You don't know. As a fan, you don't know. When you're the people in the locker room know. But the
Yeah.
year we won the Fiesta Bowl in 2014, nobody knew at all. Coach Pete had just left. So my answer always is, I don't know. That year with Ashton Genty, we did not know until that Oregon game. We said, oh, we're going to be good. So I don't think we'll know until the end of the third quarter, week one.
Week one,
How
into the
we're gonna
third
be
quarter.
exactly.
All right.
Halftime.
We're going to get a hold at halftime.
Yeah,
We can call
halftime
you at
event.
halftime and get your opinion of how that's going.
Totally. At halftime, you'll see, lineman's weak, or the running backs are great, or we're going to be good this year. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, tell us a little bit about your history and how you got involved in and are the owner and founder of DMAC Enterprises.
Yes, so I mean it's a media company, and we do all the above, from video production, TV production. I've got to collaborate with the PGA, NBA, NFL, all the above, and so it just started first, man. Like I was doing some radio hosting stuff when I got done with Boise State football. Lots of sports oriented, so it was like doing some stuff with Jay Tustin, some of those guys. Then I was like, I don't want to just talk sports every day. I want to interview and host everything. So I started hosting Miss Idaho and other events, and then started my media company out of that, producing things for other real estate agents and business owners. And then I made a couple key partnerships that allowed me to interview people like the Mark Cubans, the Shaqs, the Charles Barkleys, the Spike Lee, Shaqs, all those people.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of, I found that God-given alignment. Once you're doing what you're called to do, things just started to roll. And so I found that alignment, I would say, around 2020.
Yeah.
And it's just been up from there.
Yeah, just a variety of things, which I think makes it much more entertaining, right?
Right.
So what's a major trend you're seeing in marketing right now?
We've been talking a lot about AI, and, you see a lot of the AI initiatives and products, but I will say this is lots of trends in AI, but human interaction is always a huge thing. And I actually have my ChatGPT update me every day of the Wall Street Journal and the Business Insider of the key takeaways. And the main takeaways that's been from Q1 and Q2 is lack of implementation with corporate companies with AI materials. People are using AI, but you need humans to explain it. You need that tangible stuff. If somebody's selling a $10 million home, AI is great, but I still need that agent who I trust. And so it's cool being in both of those realms of, hey, I'm in marketing, video production, media, I'm a host, personality. In that arena, you still need people who can communicate.
Yeah, and with AI, have you noticed that how does a small business keep up with a major corporation that can afford to spend a lot of money on AI? How does a small company compete with that? Have you experienced that?
That's a great question. I mean, what AI is doing is it makes the small business owner become scale operators. Typically, scale operators are the people like the Walmarts, the big conglomerates, where they knew their consumer data, they knew their KPIs, et cetera, so they can just scale on their own because they have all this data. But now, the guy in his garage in Nebraska who has a business idea can become a scale operator through AI now. And so it really is just leveling the playing field of scalability and not just giving it to the bigger guy. So scale operators now are just inevitable in every aspect of life now, with lower end, high end, in between. Everybody can scale their idea.
Yeah, and full disclosure here, we just talked about it a little bit before we came on for this. Someone starting out, if you were to have to hire a whole production and all these cameras and an editor, it just makes it not worthwhile, right? And we just talked about the program I'm using. I won't mention it here today because I don't have their permission, but certainly it's so much easier. You can just do it by yourself or with one extra individual that can understand that. So it's an asset if you know how to use it. And as long as AI doesn't start taking over every job that we have, for sure.
Right. No, for sure. You guys are doing great things with this.
Yeah. What are some myths that maybe you've heard about or seen that when you have customers come to you? So let's talk about that a little bit. When customers come to you, what are they looking for from you? And maybe what do they ask you that you go that, well, that's not true, or this is the direction you need to be going?
The main thing customers ask me for is, with me, I have, connections with different networks. If it's Channel 2, Channel 9, if it's Prime Video, ABC, different things to where they can feature their property on or their business on. And then with a lot of the people I've collaborated with, like those bigger names, if it's the Ice Cube or the Shaq or Cubans. So a lot of the things I get when people ask is like, hey, we have a business, we're doing great things, but we want to be known. We want to be, where's our brand awareness? You know what I'm saying? We're doing good, but we want people to see it. We want people to interact with it. We want to increase sales. And so I have clients from property managers, moving companies, all the above, to where they've kind of come in this orbit of mine through social media, through TV, and within months, they're starting to see the traction, and they're starting to see the acceleration. And not only are the followers going up, it's less about followers, it's more about their business. Leads are coming, and things are happening. And they also are having fun along the way.
Yeah.
They're through my network, they're tapped into events that they didn't hear about before. They're being involved with individuals and entrepreneurs and business owners that they haven't heard of or always wanted to connect with, but didn't know somebody who was connected to him. And now they're doing this with me and our team, and things happen. So that's what people come to me mostly about. A lot of times when people, to your second part, saying like when people come to me and say they want something, I'm like, that can't happen, or I don't know how. A lot of times people with brand awareness, the field I'm in, I'm not really in the field of like, I'm going to give you 30 new clients in 10 days. We're drawing leads. That's not really my thing. I'm more on brand awareness, traction, acceleration, and organic leads. And so when people are like, they're expecting something in 2 weeks, I'm like, hey, dude, if you just give this a solid just month or 2 months with just flowing with this here, you will see results. So I always tell people right away, like, hey, I'm not that guy if you're trying to see something this week. Flow with what we're doing.
Sure. And the risk of, I guess, those that are still old school, right? Radio, TV, the risk of not going to social media, or more of what you've been talking about, what you do.
Totally.
That is the part that's missing.
It is. And, for me, I'm not really a photographer or a video guy. I really am, a personality, a host, a communicator who has a media and PR company that helps with communicating their products and initiatives. So I'm not coming and just filming stuff. I'm a person who's on camera doing stuff for myself. So I kind of have that perspective of like, hey, I think I would say this because I have my own brand. I tell people how to make themselves their own celebrity in a way in their field, in their moving industry, or in their management industry, or in their consulting industry. So that's what kind of makes us different. Is I'm coming with a perspective of like, hey, I do this for myself. This is what I would do if I were you.
Right.
And it works.
And I think that is a key, right? Maybe you don't have experience in that area, or you're not as outgoing as you are, right? I've seen a lot of the stuff that you're in.
Right.
Getting someone that does do that and willing to do that and is entertaining, and that doesn't fit everyone's personality.
Right. Exactly. And when people may have this idea of, man, I have these products, but I want to promote something, but I don't want to be that guy. Having somebody there like me to be like, hey, this is how just say this, do that. It's a lot better than somebody just there with a camera like, all right. Yeah.
So we've mentioned a few big names here, but someone that has, I won't quite say zero money, but very little money, can you still help them out if they reach out to you and your 100%. Company?
I mean, there's always ways of collaboration, and especially, for me, there is cost to certain things just to get it done. Sure. But if it's, we're always very flexible with budgets, and if people say, hey, can we start with this? And then there's times where if I really do like the business and I really see that it is something that is, potential, I'll be like, hey, let's, I'll give you these services in exchange for maybe we're partnering up on this because I want to have skin in the game. I think this is cool. So it's always ways we can collaborate and do what we do.
Figure it out. And you touched on this a little bit, but you've hosted some events.
Yes.
Yes. So would you go over a few of those and what you've hosted and maybe what's your most interesting one?
Man, everything. I've hosted anything from sports to real estate seminars to big things in Vegas. I really enjoy, that's my thing I enjoy doing. When I got done playing football at Boise State, I was blessed with the opportunity to be the on-field host for the Boise State football games. And this was when they were allowing you to do sing-alongs with the audience. So I would do a Sweet Caroline, and we're doing Living on a Prayer, and it's 40,000 people, and the camera would be there. And we had some clips that went viral and got on Good Morning America. And so at the core, I love the performing, the energy, the audience, especially when the audience is there. There's some audiences where you're like, how you guys doing? They're like, there's nobody like, man, tough crowd.
You got to wake them up. That's your job, right?
Exactly. So I've hosted everything from Miss USA, Miss Idaho, sports, real estate, business, auctioneering. And that's really a goal of mine too with my media company, all these different celebrity connections is, landing that really big hosting gig on a massive platform to shine light on more businesses as well too. So that's a goal as well.
And doesn't it kind of keep you involved in the game a little bit in a different way, clearly, but you're still on the blue, you're still out there contributing to the team.
Yeah.
I would imagine, I don't want to put words in your mouth, it's hard to break away from just, okay, that career is over and now you're on to something else. It's still something about walking out there on that turf, right?
It's always something cool, the performing. Like I grew up, I'm a classic rock guy. In my house, I was only child, so my dad's showing me, the Ed Sullivan Show and Johnny Carson and Bob Hope and the Rat Pack and Jack Benny and all the Dean Martin's roast was always on. And so it's always the energy of entertaining. And so it's just fun. And that's what happened. Even with one of my property management clients last year, they were like, we're just going to invest a certain amount of money a month in you and your team. We just want to have fun.
Yeah.
We don't want to be the boring project managers. We want to have fun. So we're doing lip syncs and we're doing marketing and door knocking, and it's all fun. And they've exploded on the scene, just doing awesome things. But they are former musicians as well too. So that energy never gets old of hosting and doing that stuff.
Yeah, and one example I've seen too, aside from the hosting, is it seems you go to new homes or you're involved in something there where you'll go to the home and. Can you
correct?
Tell us what that's about?
That all started really back in 2020 when I started my media company. Started by my wife, who you just saw. Her mother-in-law is a successful lender. She came to me at the time. I had a good following on social media, but I wasn't really doing a business yet. I was still figuring out how do I make money from these cool things I'm doing, And she was like, "Can you help with my PR?" I was like, I've never done that for anybody else. I've done it for myself, but sure. And then within 6 months, I had, connected her with tons of agents, and these agents are now asking me advice on what they would do with their brand. And then I was helping them out. We were doing video tours, and then I would direct them, and then they were like, "Can you come on camera? Like, we see you interview this guy. Like, do it with me." So I would do it.
Just do it, right? Instead of telling us what to do.
And so that kind of turned into, oh wow, like this is a business. I'm a personality, but there's lots of things I can offer to help people with public speaking, with communicating, with production, with consulting, PR, the brand. And so with the homes, that's just another avenue of what we do. If we can do listing productions, but sometimes those agents may say, David, I don't want to do it,
right.
But I've seen the interviews you do. Can you do? I'm like, yeah, cool. So that's another element that we do that's fun.
Yeah, and I think touching on all of those so people know that really the sky's the limit.
Right.
If you want David there and you want him to help you sell your product, it doesn't really matter what it is. I'm guessing you have a line somewhere, but it's not just professional athletes or certain big corporations. It can be your home, or it can be
100%
any business that you have. You're willing to help those folks out.
100%. And, that's why I was telling, I had an interview, recently with, he was a political candidate, and I'm like, some people were commenting. I go, hey, guys.
I saw that one.
Exactly. And it's like, we're just having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, Diane Sawyer, Barbara Walters, all those people that we knew, grew up with, we're having a conversation. And it was a great conversation. And so I think that's what I enjoy doing. I don't care where we are, if you're this industry, whatever, we are having a talk. and just chopping it up.
Well, and I think that's what interested me in the podcast as well after retiring is that you get to talk to a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge in areas that interest you, but you don't have, meaning me,
right.
a lot of knowledge
right.
in those areas like you're here today, right?
Right.
And it's entertaining. You sit here and you get a great education, and you can have a conversation with people that's a little bit more intimate and just one-on-one, and you get to ask all your questions uninterrupted. And,
Absolutely.
And I think that's nice. And speaking on, you interview people as well.
Yes.
So who's been your most interesting person that you've interviewed?
So we have one of the two companies I represent and do media stuff for. One's Reveal Suits. They're a suit company that does all the blazers for the Naismith Hall of Fame and Soccer Hall of Fame. So I'm like their media spokesman for certain events. And then Baron Championship Rings, they do all the rings for certain Olympic groups and stuff like that. So at these events, when legends are going in, I'm like the spokesman on site for these events. And so we've got to really, in settings like this, interview everybody. I mean, and so the ones that stick out, man, I have to say the one was last year with Shaquille O'Neal. You know, up to that point, we had interviewed people like Bill Walton and, you know, classic sport legends. And, you know, Spike Lee was incredible because that was year Michael Jordan was there. But Shaq, I mean, the person that you think that he is, that is exactly who he is. I mean, I meet this guy for the first time. I say, can we do a quick interview? Because we're doing the media stuff. And, I mean, 25 minutes later, he's directing us. We're doing a skit together. I felt like I was in a movie with him. He was like, you know, no, run it again. David, come in this way. I'm like, I'm doing a whole filming show with Shaq, you know. So that I would say would always stick out. That's number one. Number two, I brought up earlier, I love, you know, the classic stuff, the Bob Hopes and all those guys. And that's still, that's a goal of mine to get to that level. And we did an interview with Billy Crystal. And that was awesome because a lot of people my age may not know, but I'm like, dude, City Slickers, When Harry Met Sally, like sitting down with him and hearing his voice, that was awesome. I'm like, this is where I want to go. This is hearing this guy talk. And, you know, he did a funny joke. He was getting an award, man. He goes up there and he's like, they're clapping. He's like, thank you. Please be seated. And everybody was seated. He was like, what are you doing, man? He's just hilarious. So those two for me are always up there.
Yeah. I have a lot of friends, obviously, that are interested in BSU, so I don't want to leave that part of this out.
Yes.
And so can you tell us just a little bit about your career there? I see the ring on your finger there.
Yes.
Lots of people will be interested in that watch this. And so could you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, so my journey there was, from a playing perspective, not the best, but I was a part of some great teams. So out of high school, I had, I think, some offers, D1AA. I had one to Army, verbal offer to Texas Tech. That Texas Tech one got pulled, so I ended up having just they had a spot for me in Boise State. Came to Boise State as a preferred walk-on. They had a spot. And so I was there 13 through 16 and earned my way later. I had, who did I play with? Yeah, Leighton Van Der Esch, Jay Ajayi, Thomas Spurbeck, DeMarcus Lawrence. Those were all the guys that were in my era. And so I played 1 year with Coach Pete, then the other 3 with Coach Harsin. Different styles, different energy, but still two great coaches. And we won the 2014 Fiesta Bowl, which was Coach Harsin's first year. And so great experience, man. I mean, I finished there 4 years. I mean, for me, making the NFL wasn't the end-all, be-all for me. I mean, I knew what God's plan was for me as a kid. You know, in Dallas, I was in Barney as a kid. I did modeling as a kid. So I was so that started for me at 5, 6 years old, you know. It's only 3 black people in Barney history, right? I think I'm one of them.
You're one of them.
Yeah, so you'll look it up, probably see me, but
I'm definitely going to look it up now.
Right. So I knew I did that as a kid. And then as time gone on, I got good at sports, and then that got serious there. But then when that was coming to an end, I was like, I'll just get back to what I'm doing. So it was just cool being a part of it. Great teams, taught me a lot about, you know, humility and how being good is normal. You know, that hit me of like, you know,
you should be good at this level.
You should be good. You know, I made a good catch. What's up? They're like, okay, cool. Like, did you get the play right? Or, you know, so nobody really cares about being good. It's about being excellent. compartmentalization, execution, just being focused on the now. Um, and I mean, it's humbling. You put in a lot of work, but then you're not getting on the field, and your other friends are all stars and all Americans, but you still have to be a person like saying, "Hey, man, great win, even though I didn't make the bus. Awesome job, right?" So
sure,
that was tough and I did that for almost 5 years. So very motivating, helped propel me into what I'm doing now. But yeah, lots of lessons in that.
Do you mind sharing how the two coaches were different?
Sure. I'll do that in a very professional way. Yeah. So, Coach Pete's more of a great culture, just like communicator. Hey, we're excited to have you here. This community, just everything you think is amazing. And I actually got to speak at an event with him. I was the second speaker. He was the fourth speaker. So I got to spend a lot of time with him. He's amazing. And side topic, he's going in the College Football Hall of Fame this year. And the people who do all the suits for the College Football Hall of Fame is a company I'm spokesman for. So we're going to do a really cool interview with Coach Pete this year, which I'm looking forward to. Sit down private. Coach Harsin, not the same as Pete, very intense, I would just put it this way. Like if Coach Pete's saying, "Hey, we're glad to have you here," Harsin might be more like, show me what you got. You know what I mean? And so it's definitely was a different level of intensity there. That's all you're going to get me to say.
That's fine.
But but it was still a pleasure playing for both of them because Harsin's intensity when he came in that first year, Coach Pete left, we needed that. The whole team needed that energy of like, oh my God, like this guy is not playing around, and led us to a Fiesta Bowl that first year. And so he's a great offensive coordinator, knows offense, and an Idaho guy too. And I think he's the OC now at University of Cal. But they're definitely not the same, but intense in their own ways.
And who was your mentor while you were there? Maybe not a coach, but it could be a coach that maybe is not well known. But who were your mentors while you were at BSU?
I think a lot of the guys who were great mentors from a football perspective there were, some of the players. guys like Matt Miller was awesome. He's I believe he's still there, and he's one of the all-time leaders in receiving there. And then, Coach Junior Adams, who's now the receiver coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Coach Prince, who gave me a chance and put me on the team. I think he's coaching in the NFL somewhere, maybe with the Dolphins now. Coach Falani, all those guys. But I will say this: people will say, "Hey, Dave, I look you up, I see all your stuff now. You're all over the, media and TV stuff now. But football, man, you didn't play that much." I go, dude, and Jay Tuss posted a thing about a year ago. And he said, these are the 10 receivers, the 10 top receivers in stats, yards, and touchdowns in Boise State history. And 7 out of the 10 played during my era. I said, I rest my case. Shane Williams-Rhodes, Cedric Wilson, Thomas Spurbeck, Matt Miller, we're talking the all-leader in single-season touchdowns, all-leader in yards. All of these guys, that 7 out of the 10, I think it was 6 out of the 10, all played during my time, 2013 to 2017. So it was a lot of good players in that receiver room, but hey, dude, when it's that many good players, somebody's not going to play.
Right.
And so, it was a pleasure just to see the talent in that room. So,
and you've taken that experience to DMAC Enterprises. I'm
for
guessing,
sure.
Right.
Yeah. That brought the energy. I was like, man, like I didn't make a name here. I got to make a name for myself after that. You know what I'm saying? I hate all those guys. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm just airing it out, No, I love all those guys. But no, that was huge in motivating me of after, I got them playing of like, hey, I got to really, get into, who am I, right? And so
the teamwork, the confidence, right?
For sure.
And then learning from all those high-level athletes and coaches
and
as a springboard into being successful like you are.
For sure. And I had to work on, I still have to work on a day like, even when good things happen, I'm still in that mode of like, that's the look I would get when I would do something good. It'd be like, and so even today when I do something good, I'm still, and so it's my family and wife has to be like, hey, no, that was good. I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Let me, whatever. So
let me enjoy that for a second.
Let me enjoy it. Enjoy it. And so, But that's been huge. My faith is huge. I'm a huge believer. I mean, I'm in that word every single day, praying every single day, in the morning, during the day, at night, especially when you run your own business. I have to get that knowledge every day. So I'm very outward about that. And so it's enjoying the journey.
What's one company that maybe you took on that was smaller that I guess maybe your best success story?
All of them.
You? Well, I get why you're saying that. Is there one that sticks out to you that was maybe touch and go, and then now look at it run?
You know, it's funny you say that. I'll put it this way. There's probably been about 15 or so entrepreneurs, business owners, or companies. I'll put it this way. A lot of times when people are launching something big here in the Valley or in the state, I normally am getting that call first. I'm normally the first person they call when they're doing their first event, when they're doing their first podcast, when they're doing their first business launch. And so that's why I say it's a lot of all of them, because a lot of people have come to me with their very first idea, and I'm that guy to say, hey, this is the lay of the land. This is how you're going to do the video. This is how you're going to start speaking. This is how we're going to promote it. And then after 5 or 6 months or a year, some of those clients were still working today, but even if we went in different directions, those clients and those people have taken off into whole different mediums. But it all started with, they came to me first, not really knowing where to go, what to do. Rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah. What is one of the craziest events you've done that turned out to be successful?
Craziest events. I would say one of my favorite ones I got to, because a lot of times when we do these event productions, sometimes my team's producing the event. I'm hosting the event. So it's like, thank you guys very much. And then all the things like, hey, did you guys get that? You know, but I would say my favorite one is, you know, a lot of the events I've done with Homes of Idaho are awesome because it's always just something exciting happening over there. They have guests. Kobe Lampman and Cassie are amazing. We've done so much work with them and their agents. But my favorite one I got to host was the Real Brokerage had an event out in Las Vegas, and it was about 5,000 people live, Virgin Hotel, and I had about 10 minutes. They had a professional DJ from Vegas, and they were like, hey, David, you have from 8 o'clock to 8:15, and then start the event. And there's 5,000 agents going. So that was the funnest because I felt like I was in concert. I was like, you giving me 15 minutes? So I got to come out there, and we had music. They had dancers, energy, singing, Sinatra, Donald Trump impersonations, everything.
You almost did one there.
I did. I almost did it. And so that, to me, I was like, those are my two favorite things I've done so far from a live perspective is that event in Vegas and then the on-the-field hosting I did for Boise State in 2018 and 2019 because just got to go out there and be me and have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So if people want to reach out to your company, where's the best place to find you? It wasn't hard to find you, but go ahead and give your shout out
here. Best place is, on Instagram, it's DavidPaul__1. And then for business, it's www.dmacenterprises.com. And then, if it's anything from, video production, social media, events, getting yourself out there, TV, public speaking, politics, campaigns, all the above, all media, hit us up and see what we can do.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we come to an end here today?
No, thank you guys for having me here. And you said I'm guest number...
You're guest number 8.
Number 8. I like how you jumped into business stuff right away, too.
Yeah,
is that the theme, just business element?
I think it's just me. I don't know. I just... There's really no... I may need to hire somebody. There's really no format here.
No, this is great.
It's just me and Mitch sometimes, throwing it all together. And
shout out to Mitch.
Shout out to Mitch
because he's the one that
in here. He put you in touch with me, or I guess he did it all, really. So,
he did.
Yeah, and so it was great meeting you, and we'll certainly have you back in the future.
Where does this air? Where will it air at? Or where will it air? Is this on social
media? It'll be on, YouTube and then all the social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm probably missing one, right, Mitch?
MySpace, Napster.
Yeah, okay. and most likely it'll be out here and just very shortly, but we'll certainly send it to you right away. So, well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, man.
All right.